Hey fish nerds, welcome back. I want to give you guys a little update on this little 10-gallon shrimp tank we've got here. This is the tank that we saw several videos ago when I unboxed these shrimp and the plants and all the stuff here that I got from flipaquatics.com. Big thanks to them for basically making this tank happen. You know, everything that you see here except for that little knee-right snail and this piece of wood all came from Flip Aquatics, but you can get wood like this and you can get knee-right snails from there. I just didn't get these from there, but they did give me the plants and the shrimp, or at least, I mean, not all of these shrimp, but they sent me 6 is what I started off with. So big thanks to them. They are a channel sponsor and we're really proud to be working with them. Go give them some love at flipaquatics.com. They are doing some sales. It's that time of year for things to be going on sale right now, so definitely be checking them out. But wanted to give you guys an update on this because, like I said, we started with 6 of these little blue shrimp, and you can tell there are a lot more than that now. And they were a little slow getting started. I've found that the blue shrimp don't start really getting prolific as quickly as the red cherry shrimp. It seems like you put red cherry shrimp in one day, and on day 2 they've already had 1 million babies. Or at least it seems that way. I know, obviously I'm exaggerating. The blue shrimp, it seems like they take a little while to get started, but once they get started, man, they pump out the babies. And I did have some issues with this tank, nothing to do with anything in it, just a lot of light on a fresh tank, and had some blue-green algae going on in here at first when there was only just a handful of shrimp. When those, like I said, I started with 6, just 6 shrimp and a knee-right snail in here, and a whole lot of light and just some fresh plants that were still, acclimating to the new tank and just freshly planted. Ended up with some blue-green algae and battled that for a little while, but as you can tell, mostly got that under control. You might see, a little piece like right there. There might be a little bit still in there, but by and large, we've got it pretty well taken care of. And the plants are doing great. The sage back here is getting nice and thick and looking really green and looking really good. The crypts have bounced back from their initial crypt melt that crypts basically always go through. And now the blue-green algae did do a number on my red lotus, and you can see the bulb is still there, but we lost the leaves. But if I can get a good angle here, you can see we do have fresh new growth coming back out of that bulb. So I expect that guy to bounce back just fine and do just as great as everything else that's going on in here. And like I said, you can see there's a ton of these shrimp, and they're just beautiful. The fantasy blues are my absolute favorite neos. As far as the Neocaridina shrimp go, these are my absolute favorite. And I mean, that's no surprise considering my favorite shrimp of all time is the Royal Blues, the Royal Blue Tigers, which are a Caridina that look a lot like these guys. And I just love this color. And I feel like with this light red gravel that we've got going on here and the green plants, this blue just really pops. If I could get all this in focus, here we go. I think the blue of the shrimp just pops in here and it looks great. I could stand here and just look at this tank and look at it and look at it. I mean, and honestly, that's what I've been doing before I even started filming this video. I was just standing here enjoying the tank and staring at it and watching the shrimp and just enjoying this tank, which is really what the hobby should be. You should be able to just go to your tank, look at it, and just enjoy it. It shouldn't necessarily be all about getting a whole bunch of new stuff. And I mean, and I'm all for getting new stuff. I have a fish room, for crying out loud. But it should bring you joy to just sit and look at your tank. And if you have a tank that you can't just sit and look at, what's the point in even having it? And look at the little bitty babies. Little bitty baby shrimp. And I mean, as small as those little shrimp are, look at the color on that guy right there in the middle. That bright blue shrimp. That's just gorgeous. So yeah, I was just really enjoying looking at this, and I was like, you know what, I gotta make a video on this tank just because I'm having too much fun just looking at it. I gotta share it with everybody and get everybody else to look at it. And look how dark this guy is. He's awesome. I almost want to start another tank and just start pulling the really dark guys like this. See if I can get like a midnight blue shrimp going. That would be pretty sweet. But if I do that, that's definitely a future project. Oh, we got a buried female here. There's actually several buried females in this tank, but here's one right up front. If we can get to focus on her. That is one thing I will say about shrimp. They are very hard to focus on because they're so little and they've got so many moving parts with all their little legs and the I forget the name of the little swimmy legs under their bellies. All that stuff moving, their whiskers and all that stuff. It is very hard to get these guys in focus. But they're just awesome looking, and they're so neat to watch the way they scurry around, and they're constantly foraging for food and everything. And there are so many tiny babies in here. I want to see if I can find some and try to get them in focus. There's a little bitty guy right there. I was in here yesterday looking at these guys, and there was a bunch of teeny tiny ones. There's a little bitty one right there. Guy's pretty small. So yeah, definitely a lot going on in this tank, and I think it looks great, and I just love these shrimp. Oh, there's a little guy swimming around. That little blur, that is not a spot on the glass. That is a shrimp that's just so tiny. There he is. Like I said, these guys are so hard to focus on because they're so little and they move so much. But that's part of what's so awesome about them. You got this little tiny invertebrate in your tank, and it's not even a fish, but it's just something that lives underwater, but they're just so interesting and constantly active and moving around, and all that color. My wife's not even a fish person, and she came upstairs yesterday and walked in. She's like, babe, that shrimp tank that you got going on just looks awesome. That is really cool. Now, when somebody who's not even into this stuff comes up and talks about how cool it is, that has nothing to do with it, I take that as a major compliment. But yeah, that is the 10-gallon tank. That's the Fantasy Blue Shrimp tank. If you guys like this tank, give the video a thumbs up. And if you're looking for shrimp like this, plants like are in this, and anything like that, definitely go give flipaquatics.com a look. Like I said, it is that time of year when things are starting to go on sale and everybody's running sales. And last I saw, a day or two, they were announcing like 18% off livestock. I'm not sure if that's still going on at the time that this video goes up, but definitely go take a look and check them out. But for now, I will say thank you guys for watching. God bless you, fish nerds, and I'll see you next time. Look at the little baby. Look at, he's so tiny.